but I'm going to try it one more time. You can see him on.
You got a pistol on you?
No, sir. They wouldn't let me in here if I had a pistol. You know that as well as I do, so why even ask the question, okay?
Well, I just thought you might not like what I've done. You want to do something about it.
I don't much care for what you've done.
Yeah?
A lot of people don't. How do you feel about that? A lot of people think you're a monster, Charles.
They think you're a monster because you reflect this news media on me. Cult leader. I never had long hair before I got busted. I never had a beard before I got busted. I went to shave, and the guy said, no, you can't shave. And I said, I need a razor to shave. He said, no, you can't shave. I said, let me get a haircut. He said, no, we don't want you to change your appearance. So when you put the camera first on, you got long hair and a beard. First time in my life I ever had long hair and a beard.
You want to shave and get a haircut? I'll shut him off, or you'll get a shave and a haircut.
Am I telling him right? I'm not of this generation.
You want a shave and a haircut right now? I'll shut him down right now. You want a shave and a haircut?
I was trying to explain to you, man, that a lot they pushed off on me is not me. They said I had a great family, and I was the following and leaders and all that. There was no followers and leaders, a bunch of kids out the ranch playing.
Playing at what?
Playing and living.
The accounts say that you gave him dope. I'm just saying what the accounts say. I'm not saying I know it to be so, so here's your chance to say it wasn't true, okay? That there was a lot of hanky-panky, turn the girls on with dope and sex out there. That's what they said. All right, that's what they said. Well, are they wrong?
Oh. Well, I went down to Haight-Ashbury, and a little kid, 10 years old, come up and said, you want an acid pill? I said, what's that? He said, this is good. Make colors go. I said, no, I heard about them things. I don't want none of that. And then another little kid was rolling a joint. And they were sitting there smoking the joint, and they asked me if I wanted one.
What'd you say?
I said, well, I used to smoke this stuff in the 60s, but never in the 50s. But it really wasn't that, it was funny, but it's not.
How much dope did you use in your lifetime? Were you a heavy user of dope?
No, I smoked a little grass, and I've taken some acid, mescaline, psilocybin, peyote, mushroom. But actually take dope, no, nothing. I wouldn't take anything with it I feel would hurt me.
Do you feel that those things that you just mentioned hurt you at all, Charles?
Physically or spiritually?
Mentally.
And then on what level? On the level of society, the way you view the norm?
No. Stop the hogwash. Do you feel that the drugs that you did use in your earlier lifetime confused you, altered your mind, juggled it, scrambled it, made you see things differently? Stay on that level if you can.
Maybe I find a spirit of caveman think through brain.
Let me try it again. Do you think the drugs you used hurt you?
Drugs hurt me. No, I don't think the drugs have hurt me. If I overdone it, I think it would.
You don't want to be anybody's leader, do you?
No.
Never did want to be anybody's leader?
Mm-hmm. Don't like attention.
Then why do you...
Most insecure people need attention. I
was just going to say, then, if you don't want attention, why all your life have you kept waving your arms saying, hey, look at me?
That's what I've been doing all my life.
Well, I would have to say that a young man...
See if I got that document.
...who by the time he's 20 years old has been in and out of jails and reform schools for a variety of offenses that include wife beating,
wife beating, now that's... Never whipped my old lady.
Didn't you?
No, I punched my mother out once.
Oh, you did? All right, well, we'll call it mother beating. Forging checks.
She was wrong, and she lied to me and beat me for my money, and she didn't do right.
Forging checks, car theft. I mean, these are ways of waving your arms and saying, look at me, give me some attention.
Yeah.
If you say you don't want any attention, now, Charles, that's a contradiction.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, over a period of about 20 years, I imagine you'd want to change something. I'm not very wise to many things, but I am wise to one thing,
What's that?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. You punched your mother. Did you hate your mother?
No, I don't. She's a good girl.
What about your wife? You were married once, weren't you?
Yeah.
How'd that go? Why'd you want to get married? That's kind of conventional. That's kind of normal. That's kind of in the rut.
I got married. That's where I got married.
Married for sex was the reason you got married.
Yeah, that's where I didn't know what was happening. I knew there was something happening. No one would tell me, so I had to find out. I didn't have books like you guys, Playboys and stuff in them days. I had to find out for myself.
Why do you think us guys are all Playboys?
Oh, man, I didn't say you were Playboy. I was talking about Playboy magazine type thought.
Okay. You had a son by that marriage, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a kid somewhere.
Mm-hmm. You think about him?
Not about as much as my father did me.
Mm-hmm. So two wrongs make a right, Charles.
No, I didn't say there's anything wrong with the way my dad's been taking care of me. He lets me live. I'm alive.
I remember you saying, or being quoted in the courtroom in Los Angeles, as saying, the children who came at you with knives are your children.
Yeah, I didn't raise them. You raised them.
You are the ones who kicked them out. You are responsible for what they've done.
That's right. Just as much as I am.
Mm-hmm. So you, in my mind, were criticizing society for kicking their children out. And
Sure.
yet I've just seen you sit here and say, yeah, I got a kid somewhere.
Yeah.
How can you criticize other people for kicking their kids out and you did the same thing?
Difference, many levels, difference. See, my old lady left me and run off with a truck driver. She said, let's steal a car and go to California. And I said, man, I ain't going to steal a car and go to California and go back to jail. She says, we won't get caught. But we didn't get caught. Just I got caught. She didn't get caught. So then she had a kid, and then some truck driver came along, and I was a green kid, and I didn't know what I was doing, you know. So she said, you know, I got a ride. You know, see. Is?
You know, you were sentenced to the gas chamber, and then they modified the death penalty. Were you happy when that was done?
Was I happy when what was done?
When you found out that you weren't going to the gas chamber.
Dying is easy. Getting up every day and going through this again and again is hard. So I'm carrying a heavenly thought, see. The thought I'm carrying is very heavy. Like I'm on a football team and everybody's... I'm a little guy. I don't have no home team. You got all the home. I got one cheerleader or one coach. See, you got me at a disadvantage because I'm on your ground. See. So, and this is your street, I reckon. You got the cameras and the money and the things. But you can believe me that Bulliosis had you all on a rib. And all the guys that sold you most of that stuff sold you a bunch of things that weren't real. Not to me. We used to have games when we play. On the movie set, we would take on different people. I'd be Rip Rap Rackets. And Steve would be John Jones, just come in from Minneapolis and driving the truck. And we'd just take other people and play after other people. And then we lost track of who we were. And it went off to do other dimensions and levels of thought and understanding and comprehensions that were beyond most people's minds, functions, computer data. So, all I did was watch and learn everything I could from everybody I ever met. Then when I got out of prison, I just walked around. I didn't tell nobody to do nothing. I said, do what you want to do. Don't tell me what to do. I don't like people tell me what to do. This has come from a place where they told me what to do all my life. You know, I want to find out what to do for myself, you know. I never did. Not yet. But I was going to take a trade one of these days, maybe learn to be a welder or something. Till I can get to the front gate anyway.
Tell me about your life here in prison. Do you read newspapers? Do you listen to the radio? Do you watch television? Do you communicate with people on the outside? What goes on for Charles Manson in this prison?
Well, I can feel the grass growing out there on the lawn, and there's a few trees that's got some leaves on it that I can feel. And I've been in jail all my life, so I'm actually right here at home. How long have I been in jail? 34 years? 34 years, so...
out of 47, you've been here 34.
I've been in jail, prison, a long time, all my life. I was raised up in here. So I understand jail, so I understand myself, and I can deal with that. I set my cell, and I do my number, like a convict does his number.
You like jail, don't you?
I don't dislike or like.
Let's go back to 1967, the time you were winding up serving a term of number of years, 10 years. And written accounts indicate that you told the authorities, don't let me out. I can't cope with the outside world. Do you have a recollection of that?
You make a desperate plea out of something, man. There's no desperate plea out of it. I say I can't handle the maniacs outside. Let me back in.
I didn't use the word desperate. That's your word, Charles.
Yeah, well, your inflection and your voice tones were implications there.
Well, you use the word maniacs on the outside. How are you different from the maniacs on the outside? And why do you call them maniacs? Because you know something, they think you are one.
Yeah, it would reflect. If you hold the negative up to the light, you don't see the light, you just see the negative. So I'm a reflection of your negative, there's no doubt about that. And I can handle that also. I've been handling, ain't I?
I don't know, have you?
Well, I've been up and down these damn hallways, in and out of these nut wards for the last 10 years. You think you could follow that act?
Don't want to follow that act. I don't want to get into it. But why do you want to get into that?
Well, what crowd,
why do you
what crowd you playing for? Huh? I'm playing for my life. You working for money.
What does that mean, you're playing for your life?
I'm working for my life, mister. I'm not playing for money.
What do you mean you're working for keeps? What do you mean you're working for your life?
I'm playing for real.
What does that mean, you're playing for real? How are you
that's
playing for your life?
That's something you can't buy.
When you say you're playing for your life, am I to assume that you think that someday you're going to get out of here?
Get out of here. Get out of here. Where would I go? Let's see.
What would you do if you got out of here?
I got out of here.
What if they said to you tomorrow morning, Charles, hey, listen, you're free. You can go wherever you want to go. Do whatever you want to do. What would you do?
I'll probably go out front on the grass and sit down.
For how long?
For, right now. For how long? I could put a track record on it, or I could, put a computer on it.
No, come on down. Get off computers, get off tracks. If you got out of here, there are a lot of people who think you'd go start killing people again.
Again? Well, you guys are misinformed. I haven't killed anyone.
What about Shay?
What about him?
Well, what about him?
He got killed.
Well, the word is you killed him. Word is you stabbed him. What does it feel like to kill someone?
Word is that you're an old woman. Word is you have turkey in the sky. Word is, I don't know what word is. Somebody else tell you that. I didn't tell you that.
Did you kill Shay?
Hell no.
Did you cut Hinman's ear off?
How'd
that feel when you cut his ear off?
I felt bad.
Truth is fun, though. Isn't the truth fun now when you...
Sure.
You cut his ear off. What did it feel like?
Fun? My goodness.
What did it feel like when you cut his ear off? Tell me about it. Come on.
What did it feel like?
Yeah.
Well, I had done what he said for about 20 years. I'd done everything he told me to do. And I got to thinking, now, why don't this guy do something I tell him to do? And he said, no. I said, well, how comes I'm always doing what you tell me to do, but then you never do what I say do? And he said, well, blah, blah, blah. So I said, he said, wow, where'd you get that? I said, I got it from my father in prison. He gave it to me. I had a little charm bracelet I used to carry it on when I was about that big.
Mm-hmm. So skip that for a second. Why was it so important for him to do what you say? Why do you like having people do what you want them to do? Why do you want to control them?
Wait a minute. No, I was asked. The dude asked me, he says, you my brother? I said, yeah, I'm your brother. He said, how much are you my brother? I said, completely. See, if I'm going to explain it to you, it's not going to be that easy. So you're going to have to bear with me. So, Bobby said, he was a young dude, he said, I'm your brother. I said, okay.
Bobby?
I'm your brother. Beausoleil. I just got out of prison.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let me interrupt you for a second.
Yeah, well, then we're gone with that talk.
No, because you're getting on
Then we'll go to another one, and then you make me look crazy.
No. You can make yourself look crazy, Charles. Okay. I can't make you look crazy, and please believe me.
All right. I'll believe you, and I'll put it in my left-hand pocket for later.
Let me take you back to you wanting this man, Hinman.
I cut the dude's ear off because he was over Bobby. And Bobby was a youngster and really didn't know what the hell he was doing. And he was a kid, and he never had no man show him nothing, see? So I was telling the boy, I said, the guy says, you got my money. I said, go and get the money or leave him alone.
You're taking me to another story.
No, I'm trying to tell you the same thing, and we'll be here for 1,000 years unless you let me finish.
No. We won't be here for that long at all if you'll just speak to this one point.
What is the point? Why cut the Jew zero off, man? That's the point.
I didn't ask you that. I said, why was it important to you to make Hinman do what you wanted him to do?
Because
and if one follows your story, and if one follows your story through the times on the ranch down in Southern California, it was important for Charles Manson to be a leader, to have people follow him.
Come on, district attorney. See, you've been full of brainwash. That's a district attorney. I'm nobody's leader, and I'm nobody's follower. I got a parole officer, I got a sleeping bag and a guitar, and I'm staying at an old blind man's ranch. And that's about the extent of it. All this occult, all that hocus-pocus stuff that you guys are playing, I don't know nothing about all that.
You know nothing about something called Helter Skelter. You know nothing about...
Yeah, I know about Helter Skelter. It was a song that some people sang.
And that's all it was.
Some other kids picked it up in their minds. And they said, what do you think Helter Skelter is? I said, well, I get out of the penitentiary in the 50s, and everybody's going thump, 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 and they're walking like that. I get locked back up, I get out in the penitentiary in the 65, and it's going thump, 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 and I get locked up again, and I come out in the 69, it's going thump, 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 singing, wow, man, wow.
Wow, what? Come on,
well, I was a beatnik in the 50s before the hippies came along. You know, I cut a rut down through Acapulco, and I smoked Acapulco before you knew what it was. And I lived in the Tombs, and I was in the Cook County Jail in Chicago when you were playing cricket in high school, see? Like you live in another world. I live in street people's world.
Manson had a little scheme called creepy crawlers. He'd send people in to move furniture around. Is that all a figment of somebody's imagination so far, or is there any truth to that? Tell me, Charles. I don't know.
It's worse than a fairy tale.
It's a fairy tale.
It's a comedy. It's a comedy tragedy opera that was played in the early morning.
Come on, Charles.
Sickening.
Off the space shuttle.
You know. Well, that's what the DA gave you for reality.
Okay.
He stood in the courtroom and said, "This man did this, and this man did that," and you all believed him. He said, "This man did that," and I said, "Your Honor, may I speak?" And they said, "No, you can't speak." I said, "Your Honor, I got a voice. Let me talk." He said, "No, sit down, shut up." Then he handcuffed me, take me in the back, whip my... What are you going to do? I come out and sit down, and I ain't going to get whipped again.
Didn't you stand up in that courtroom?
Sure.
By the way, let me just go back.
I felt the repercussions in the back of it.
Okay, but you say the whole thing's a fairy tale. You say the whole thing is make-believe.
Yeah, that's his Helter Skelter. It wasn't mine.
The body of Sharon Tate is make-believe.
That's make-believe.
Make-believe.
That's make-believe to the people that went in there and did what they did.
And who were those people? But you know who they were.
Sure, I know who they were.
They were with you at the Spawn Ranch. They were part of this thing called, if not the Manson family or the Manson cult, the Manson Ranch. Call it what you will.
So then, what?
And Tex Watson testified in a court of law that you told him, go to the house that Terry Melcher used to live in and kill those people in a most gruesome way. A man that was once your associate said that of you, and now you sit here and say that's not true, that's all make-believe?
There's a stone wall there. Why don't you take it down a little bit? Look here. I'll explain something, too. Tex took the witness stand, and this is record, and he said, "I don't know whether I'm Charlie Manson or my mother." Tex didn't have his own mind one way or the other. He was balanced back and forward, because I had already took his mind in another game down the road that I was playing with some Hell's Angels that you don't know nothing about, and you probably never will know nothing about it, because you would have to know those people to get in that thought, see? But there's different colors on different people's backs doing different things. It's a different world. I love the world I live in, too, just like Regan loves the world he lives in.
You love the world you live in.
Most assuredly, it's me.
You love all the pain that you cause people, all the pain that you... But how come you didn't...
That's the reason I never stick my hand in fire.
But, excuse me, you've been putting your hand in the fire since you were a little boy.
I have.
You just told me a couple of minutes ago that out of 47 years, you spent 34 of them behind bars. Now, if that isn't putting your hand in the fire, I don't know what is.
What year is that?
The year is not important. What's important is, you just say that you learn by pain not to experience again. Don't put your hand back in the fire. Why you've been in our prisons for the last 34 of your 47 years? You call that normal behavior, Charles? Is that something that you're proud of?
No, never. Well, I never thought I was normal. Never tried to be normal. Normal runs in a little rough down there. I don't know nothing about being normal. I've been in jail all my life, man. I've lived on a handball court. This guy raised me up. All the men in the joint raised me up, told me what to do, what was right and wrong, told me when to sit down, stand up. I just did everything I was told. You know, I got to the end of it, and I just turned around and said, wow. You know, and then I went outside, and all these little kids got a hold of me and said, you better stop the Vietnam War, we want to do this. What? War? I don't know what's happening. I've been in jail all my life, man. I never went to vocational. You ever see me vocational training, rehabilitation? Never played no rehabilitation. I sweep the floor in the kitchen. Go out and play handball. I'm still 10 years old in your world. In your world, I'm still a kid. I'm not going to grow up. I'm not going to go to college.
How old are you in your world?
Forever. Since the breakfast. I can't remember.
I don't know what that means. Come on, off the space shuttle, Charles.
Yeah, it's off the space shuttle.
How old are you in your world?
How old am I? I'm as old as my mother told me. How's that?
Your mother. Tell me about your mother. What'd your mother tell you? My
mother told me when she worked on death row and they took that dude into hanging and his head popped off and went down them 13 stairs and rolled over by her. It scared her. You know, so I said, wow, that sure is a far-out trip, Mom. So then when I got up on death row in cell 13 for 9 counts of murder, 1969, and I looked at her fears, that guy's head popping off that hangman's noose, and I said to myself, my goodness, what the hell am I doing here? I didn't want to come here. I didn't break the law. Judge knew that. But the people didn't want to hear it. The judge knew it. He washed his hands. He said, I know it, but what can I do? People want this. Judge never said that. Judge never said that. That's what oldest is.
Yeah, Judge didn't say that.
He got off and shook their hands, didn't he?
Judge did not say that he washed his hands.
He's a flying tiger, man, for Madam Chang Kai-shek. I just wrote a letter.
Judge didn't say that you were innocent, Charles.
Innocent?
Let's go back to your mother.
Innocent? Wait a minute. Let's get back to that word, innocent. You're so white and pure?
Judge didn't say you were innocent.
Are you innocent?
Innocent of what?
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
None of us are innocent.
Yeah, just because you're convicted in a courtroom doesn't mean you're guilty of something.
What does mean you're guilty?
When you know you're guilty.
And how do you feel about yourself? Tell me. Let me take you back to your mom.
Take me back to...
What else did she talk to you about besides the fellow whose head popped off?
The head popped off, yeah. She was living in the Blue Moon Cafe and she hit a dude in the head with one of them bottles of Jim Beam whiskey. She tried to hustle a few dollars on the corner, but there wasn't no money. So when she jammed this whiskey bottle upside that clown's head, he went down. She took the bread, come up and got me, and we left, went to Indiana.
When you were a boy, did you love your mother?
I didn't know what that was.
Did you respect your mother? How did you feel about you? How do you feel about your mom right now? If your mother, I don't know if she's alive, Charles, or not.
Yeah, you don't, huh? Do you? Let's see. Alive now. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, if she could be watching this right now, what would you say to her, Charles?
Well,
what would you say to Mom?
I'd say, you sure went through a whole lot of changes to get me as far as you did. And you did a damn good job with the help of my grandma. My grandma was a mountain girl from Kentucky, up in the mountains. And she never did drink or smoke or cuss or lie. She used to cook for the Salvation Army, and she was a human being. Good one. I go to church down there, sweep the floor for her.
Well, how were you in school? I hear that you weren't too good, but maybe I heard that.
Depends on which school. I did very well in reform school.
Yeah.
I did good in every place that I was ever told to do good in. As much as I was allowed to do, you know. A lot of times good for some might not be the same for others. And sometimes it kind of bumps heads, but when it does, then I just chew on my pipe and think about it and do the best I can. But you dealt the hand down there in L.A. You and that press, you and that L.A. Times, you dealt the hand. You put me on Life magazine, had me convicted before I walked in the courtroom. You had what people wanted to buy. When they wanted to buy it, they didn't give a damn. They had to convict the district attorney. They had to convict the whole building to get that dollar bill going there. They had big bucks going there. You make $27 million, $100 billion. I'm bumming $10, $15 from my friend here.